Hi YouTube, this is Steve, Super Bowl Retro. Today I got a continuation of my series when games came in baggies. This grouping will be the more obscure games that I have. They don't fit into a big grouping of publishers that I have on hand, or they're just really obscure and I can't find a whole lot of information on them. The first one that I have is Quest. Let's see if this is by Aardvark International. It's for the Commodore 64. This is from what I understand, it's a role-playing type game. Unfortunately, on this one, I can't find a copy online. I'm not sure. There's all sorts of games named Quest, and I cannot find the one published by Aardvark to show some of the gameplay footage. And unfortunately, my cassette, it's not one of the cassettes that you can take apart. There's no screws. It's all hard molded, so I can't pop it apart. And unfortunately, the tape, somebody rewound it and the tape broke and rewound up in the cartridge, so I won't be able to get any gameplay footage of that. If anybody knows where I can find a copy of the tap file or a disc file of this, I'd appreciate it. I'd like to see what the game's all about. This is what it came in. It was evidently mail ordered. Somebody mail ordered it long ago. This is their adventure flyer with all the different games they published. They published a lot of these games, and I cannot find hardly any of these things online. I would like to get some of these. Dungeons of Death, Wizard's Tower, Escape Mars. There's some more. Seawolf, Labyrinth, Derelict. Looks like a bunch of text adventures. There's some more. Talk about obscure games. These ones are very hard to find. Seawolf is a little easier to find. I guess that must have been one of the more popular ones. I think it's probably like Polaris. If anybody's familiar with that game, it kind of looks like that. But they made a lot of games, but you just don't hear a whole lot about the company. This is the instructions that came with the game. It's kind of why I assume this was like a role-playing game, maybe a graphical-based role-playing game. Kind of interesting. Came in a bag with a little hanger. So I think since it's for the C64, actually it's for the C64, so it had to have been around 83, 84. Next one I have is another game I don't actually have the disc for. I got it in a big lot of games that I bought, and unfortunately the disc was not with the lot, but the instructions were. It's called Analog Software, Analog Adventure. I would love to get a copy of that disc if anybody has it. There's the instructions. You see how basic and kind of mundane that their advertising was for this. I assume that was a text adventure. Next game I have is for the Atari computer, the Atari 400-800. This is another cassette-based game called Haunted House, or Haunted Hill, I'm sorry, by George Richardson. It's made by Swiftware. It's another one I can't find a whole lot on, but it's instructions in the centerfold, little holes to hang it from a peg. This one was also on a cassette, very crudely done, but very interesting. I think this was a platformer type game for the Atari 400-800 computer series. There's the back of the card stock there. The next one is another game for the Atari. If you can call it a game. I guess it was kind of advertised as a game. It's called Abuse by Don't Ask Software. This really wasn't a game per se. It was more of an artificial intelligence type game that you type in a sentence and it would insult you back. There was really no gameplay whatsoever, and the artificial intelligence really didn't do the name artificial intelligence a whole lot of justice. It was kind of random on what it insulted you back with. As a matter of fact, I'll put a little clip of this game play right here. Last game I have is Cipher Bowl, also for the Atari 400-800 series. I think they also made this for the Apple. This was a little more well done. This is kind of similar to some of the early football games that you saw on some of the other computers, like the Atari 2600 and the Apple. Pretty rudimentary, but it was pretty well done. Entertaining, fun to play, 2-player. There's a disc. Fortunately, I never use any of these discs anymore. I don't know if any of these work. You know, it's kind of like your old comic books. Why would you take out and read an old Golden Age comic book when you can find a PDF online or get an anthology to read and keep your good one in good shape. There's your catalog. It's by Artski. Software was the publisher. These are some of the other games that they made. Another very early game. I believe this one was 1981. That's when this one came out. I do have a clip of this game. I'll put it right here. So I hope you enjoyed this little portion of my when games came in baggies. I have one more to do. I think it's mostly Datasoft software. And I believe mostly for the Apple. I got two more to do. I got one for the TRS-82. So if I can get these all done before December's over, I'll post these all as part of December. Thank you very much. Super Mario. I'll talk to you later.